A few hours ago, the Ministry of Defense of the Russian Federation officially announced that the strategically important city of Kurakhovo, in the Donetsk People's Republic, had been completely liberated by units of the group of troops under the designation South. The Russian Defense Ministry noted that over the past 10 years, the Kiev regime, with the help of NATO military advisors, has turned this city into an impregnable fortress, with advanced underground communications and powerful firing points. In addition, there is a reservoir in the northern part of this city, which also significantly complicated the work of the Russian troops to liberate this strategically important settlement. Commenting on the complete liberation of Kurakhovo, even Russophobic Western think tanks did not hide their admiration for the professional actions of the Russian army. As it turned out, in order to hold this city, the Ukrainian army and NATO forces concentrated 27 battalions with a total of more than 20,000 soldiers in Kurakhovo. Among these Ukrainian soldiers were also ardent Nazis and so-called foreign mercenaries, many of whom were active duty soldiers of armies of NATO countries. In total, in the battle for Kurakhovo, the Ukrainian army and NATO forces lost more than 17,000 soldiers, and 4,000 units of various military equipment, including 60 tanks, and 80 units of infantry fighting vehicles. Many military experts expressed confidence that the military operation to liberate Kurakhovo, as well as Avdiivka, will go down in the history of military art, and will be studied by future generations for many centuries. Meanwhile, after the complete liberation of Kurakhovo, the Russian army continued its victorious offensive in this direction of the front. So, on January 6, at 9 a.m. Moscow time, war correspondents confirmed the complete liberation by Russian troops of the settlement of Daknoy, west of Kurakhovo. It is noteworthy that on the same day, the Russian Defense Ministry also confirmed the liberation of this urban-type settlement. In particular, the representative of the Ministry of Defense of the Russian Federation, General Igor Konashenkov, officially stated that as a result of the professional and decisive actions of the units of the group of troops under the designation center, the settlement of Daknoy, in the Donetsk People's Republic, was completely liberated. However, the victories of the Russian troops in the Special Military Operations Zone did not end there. So, on January 6, at 11 a.m. Moscow time, war correspondents reported on another Russian army's success in the Kursk direction of the front. In particular, it is reported that after yesterday's failed attack by the Ukrainian army in the Sudzansky district of the Kursk region, as a result of which Ukrainian troops lost about 400 soldiers and 30 units of heavy equipment, the Russian army did not give the enemy a break and launched a counteroffensive. As a result, Russian units from the group of troops under the designation Sever managed to dislodge the Ukrainian nationalists from the settlement of Leonidovo. Moreover, it is reported that after the liberation of this settlement, Russian troops built on their success, managing to advance 700 meters in the vicinity of this village. At the same time, it is worth noting that many reputable Russian military experts and analysts urge the Russian General Staff not to relax against the backdrop of the numerous successes of the Russian army in the Kursk region. In particular, they claim in all seriousness that yesterday's attack by the Ukrainian army was merely preparation for a full-scale offensive by Ukrainian and NATO forces. According to them, before the inauguration of Donald Trump, the Kiev regime will try to organize an offensive not only in the Kursk region, but also in the Belgorod and Bryansk regions. It is worth noting that Russian intelligence indirectly confirms the words of many military experts. In particular, the Russian military confirmed that during yesterday's attack, the Ukrainian army did not use all the reserves that were deployed to the borders of the Russian Federation. Meanwhile, Russia brutally took revenge on NATO and Ukraine for launching 8 ATACMS missiles on Belgorod region. Let me remind you that on January 3, the Ukrainian army, with the help of NATO officers, fired 8 ATACMS ballistic missiles deep into Russian territory. According to the Russian military department, all these ballistic missiles were shot down by the air defense system S-400 and the air defense missile gun system Panzer-SM. Back then, the Ministry of Defense of the Russian Federation officially stated that this attack would not go unanswered, and that the enemy would soon answer for this crime. And now, almost 3 days later, Russia has kept its promise by delivering a crushing blow to the enemy. So, on the night of January 6, the Russian aerospace forces, together with the missile forces, launched a massive missile attack on military objects and energy infrastructure facilities in Ukraine. In particular, independent monitoring services recorded 20 powerful explosions in such Ukrainian regions as Zhytomyr, Cherkasy, Dnipropetrovsk, Sumy, and Kiev. So, in the Zhytomyr and Cherkasy regions, Russian kamikaze drones, together with cruise missiles, hit and destroyed several facilities of the military-industrial complex and energy sector. In the Dnipropetrovsk region, in the southwestern part of the city of Samar, Russian kamikaze drones hit and destroyed 2 classified weapons depots, where the Ukrainian army and NATO forces stored Western ballistic and cruise missiles. In the Sumy region, in the northwestern part of the settlement of Miropol, a Russian Iskander-M ballistic missile hit and destroyed a classified Ukrainian army's command post. Later, sources in the Russian military department confirmed that as a result of this missile attack, about 10 Ukrainian officers were killed, including 2 U.S. Army officers, who launched ATACMS missiles at Belgorod region on January 3. And finally, in the Kiev region, in the western part of the city of Bila Tserkva, Russian intelligence discovered and destroyed a classified NATO facility. As it turned out, it was a command center that distributed Western ballistic and cruise missiles arriving in Ukraine. Moreover, it was in this command center that the decision was made regarding which Russian region and city should be subjected to a missile attack. Sources in the Russian military department confirmed that as a result of a direct hit by an Iskander-M ballistic missile, 10 senior officers of the Security Service of Ukraine were killed, including 3 active-duty high-ranking NATO officers.